It's going to be a moving day. Once again, I've got Kazim Merchant with me. Kazim, what do you have to say about day 3, match number 1 coming up?
This is a good match. Both the teams, I think, are evenly placed. Viking Warriors have a big batting lineup, and Jupiter has an all-round side, so it's going to be a good match.
Yes, Jupiter have played one match. They won that match. Viking have one victory and they've lost one of the 2 games they've played. So it's going to be an important match for Viking, and so is Jupiter. They need to keep that winning streak going on, betting apart a few players. Jupiter is doing really well in this tournament. You see, betting apart Shobit and a few players who are not performing up to the potential, but still Jupiter are a good side.
The irony over here is Shobha is not getting a chance to play. So it's going to be a long tournament for him, I feel.
Probably sitting out.
Sitting out and supporting the team.
All right, quickly moving on for the toss. I'd like to invite Mr. Junaid Sharif for the toss, and I've got the captains of both the team, Viking Warrior. I've got Darshan and Tanveer, and I've got Nikesh and Shobit from Jupiter 11. Darshan to call. MCS is the call. MCS it is. So Viking Warriors have won the toss.
We're going to chase.
Any specific reasons of fielding?
Well, we had a bad experience yesterday batting first. So I guess today we'll go with something else and we'll field first.
What do you have to say about your captain cool, your owner cool, Mr. Wasim Sheikh?
He is amazing owner, I would say. He's giving me the freedom to lead the side very well. And now it's my turn to pay back, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I would also like to thank Mr. Wasim Sheikh, all you guys watching us on 7 Star Digital, channel number 98, channel number 99. It's courtesy Mr. Wasim Sheikh, Mr. Nadeem Sheikh. He's the owner of 7 Star Digital. Once again, thank you. And Jupiter, you guys have lost the toss. What you guys would have done?
Actually, we would have bowled first because we won the first game bowling first. But it's okay, it doesn't matter. It's sometimes good to lose a toss. You don't have no one to blame for.
Big question coming your way. Shobit is in playing 11.
Actually, today not. So it's actually a very difficult decision for the team that a player like Shobit has to sit out. So that shows our bench strength.
So probably you are chasing Shobit to put him in C category very soon.
That depends on you all. You make the decision.
All right, all the very best. Viking Warriors up against Jupiter 11.
Alright, before we start, we will be having live action in the next 5 to 7 minutes. So we have a little time. Let's just thank our sponsors, especially IBJA Gold, powered by Living Liquids, well supported by Niton Valve Industries, as well as B. Kandari Properties. So thank you all for all your support.
A tournament of this caliber is not possible without the sponsors. So a big thank you to all the sponsors and a very big special thank you to Mr. Junaid Sharif, who's been looking after everything personally. So this is going to be an exciting day. Day 3 coming up. Viking Warriors versus Jupiter. Match number 2 coming up is going to be Sapphire taking on Ricky Tigers. So Sapphire going to play their first game in this tournament today. And we have All Stars playing Smashers, and we have Sapphire then playing Lashkaria Lions. So it's going to be an interesting day, moving day. So hopefully we have some exciting matches coming your way. Live feed coming your way in 5 minutes. Thank you. Jupiter, Viking, request to please start the match. Viking and Jupiter, please, let's start the match. Check, check. 5, check. 4, check. 3, check. 2, 2, check. 1. MCS 8. Mumbai Cricket Stars Season 8. Match number 1 coming up. Jupiter 11 versus Viking Warriors.
Wasim bhai. Chalo, chalo, check, check, check. Right, here we go. MCS 8, day 3, match number 1. Viking Warriors taking on team Jupiter 11. Viking Warriors winning the toss and electing to field first. So we have Azim to bowl. The first over for team Viking Warriors is a D category player. The owner Keyurbai Gilani to open the batting. With him is hard-hitting, explosive batsman right from the Caribbean Islands, Ankit Sharma. So this is a good contest on hand. Ankit is in form. And now I'm handing over the mic to the official commentator, Dipesh Sule. Welcome, Dipesh.
Thank you so much, Kazim, and it's a wonderful, wonderful day. The day 3 of this Mumbai Cricket Stars Season 8, sponsored by IBJA Gold, powered by Living Liquids, and supported by B. Kandhari Properties and Neton. So here it is, the first match of the day. That's a brilliant shot, and that will travel quite a distance, and it's gone for a sixer. A wonderful start to this innings, and he's got the maximum on the very first ball. So K is known to be the hard hitter. On the other side, we have Ankit Sharma, the left-hand, right-hand batsman combination that we see here. Viking Warriors versus Jupiter 11. That's a good shot, almost came to the commentary box, only for a single, goes into the declare zone. Well, it's a good start. Azim there, the bowler. We have a wonderful setup again on the day 3. Full toss ball straightly in the hands of Parth Maturia. He doesn't miss many. On the long on region, you will see Tanveer Lokhandwala. On the short mid wicket, you can see the owner himself, Wasim. He is one of the finest batsmen again. Rizwan standing very much short and very close to the crease. So here's a beautiful setup out here. Again, nicely bowled, but this time straight in the hands of Parth. He makes no mistake, only a single. But the good part is that Keyur is middling the ball pretty well. That also would set up the tone for Ankit Sharma, who's batting next. He's on strike now. Full toss ball in the air and straight in the hands of Tanveer Lokhandwala. It's a lollipop for him. These are easy ones. Well, we've seen this flying machine take some amazing diving catches. This was like, just come to me and I'll take care of it. Wonderful catch there in the deep, and the wicket number 1 falling down. Ankit Sharma trying to hurry a bit, and he loses his wicket, and it's going to be a -5. Azim taking a wicket here. and that is a much more needed wicket. The score goes back to 4. This one's going to drift way towards beyond the leg stump, and it's going to be called wide. Yeah, that's a full toss ball straight in the hands of fielder there. And that's the end of the first over. It is 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. That is Ankit Sharma, who is now sitting back in the dugout. So it's going to be a bowling power play told to us by
प्रवीण सर आहेत ना ते प्रवीण आमरे ना प्रवीण आमरे ना आमरे आहे तेवढं माहिती आहे.
So Mr. Amre telling us that it's going to be a bowling power play as well. The very second over. So it's going to be the owner who is going to bowl, Wasim. Viking Warriors has a great support here. The shouts from the dugout, you can listen to it. So that's going to be on strike, Saurabh. Straight in the hands of Rizwan. Good fielding there, no run on that occasion.
थोड़ा सा
Check. Okay. So bit of a technical glitch here, and we're back. That is nicely tapped on the offside by Keur, and will only get a single. That brings in Nikesh Patani back on strike. Again, trying to play across the line. He had to almost go to that back foot, trying to reach to that ball, and that is just going to be a single. 21 is the score in the third over, and after this, it's going to be a big over. That is the monster over, which will be brought to you by B. Kandhari Properties and Neton. Straight in the hands of Rizwan this time, and he makes no mistake. End of this third over, and as I told you, as I promised you, it's going to be a big over. That is brought to you by B. Kandhari Properties and Neton. Avish coming to the action. And here we have our photographers as well, capturing some amazing pictures throughout this Mumbai Cricket Stars Season 8. IBJA Gold is our title sponsors, and powered by Living Liquids, supported by B. Kandhari Properties and Neton. Wonderful season. It's been amazing 7 seasons in the past, and this brings the 8th season, which is getting exciting day by day. The day number 3 is as lit as always. A bit of an attacking field. Now here is a twist where Tanveer Lokhandwala comes to the mid-off region to stop those quick singles. That's in the point. Direct hit would have made a lot of difference, but Nikesh Patani, I think, was comfortably home, so there was no chance for the fielder there standing at the point. He's a fast runner. Now every run in this over scored will be doubled. So are they going to stick to the singles, or are they going to go for the big shots? Especially Nikesh on at the non-striker's end. I think Keur was struggling there to reach to the striker's end, but comfortably home now. So there is no reason to worry. So Avesh Khan once again bit of a changes in the fielding here, and of course he understands the reason why, purely because now Rizwan comes to the mid-off region. Tanveer comes more shorter to stop those probable singles. This time Wasim is fast and furious. He's a perfect all-rounder, leading his team from the examples right in the batting or bowling or in the fielding. We saw some brilliant fielding just now, stopping that probable single, and this is today's draw. The first match that you're watching is of course between Viking Warriors and Jupiter 11. This is a very good ball just outside the off stump and straight in the hands of Partha, but this is going to be called fast. It's going to be a dead ball, of course. Yes, Mr. Amre telling us that it's going to be a dead ball. So the second match again, it's going to be very interesting, Paul, because Saffron Army is taking on Ricky Tigers. Then we have Undefeatables going against All Stars. The fourth match of the evening will be Sapphire versus Lashkari Alliance, and the last match, again the second for the day for All Stars, is going to be All Stars and Smashers. So it's an interesting draw today, interesting matches coming up, especially the next match, Saffron Army and Ricky Tigers. It's a big match that we're going to watch. Nicely tapped, but this time a direct hit would have made some huge difference, because in this over, if you lose a wicket, you get a -5, and that's the only advantage that the fielding team is always looking for. Nikesh Patani back on strike. Avesh Khan still the bowler. Last ball of this monster over, brought to you by B. Kandhari Properties and Neton. Interesting scenes here at the 8th hole Astro Park, Juhu, where you're going to watch live, or you're watching live. This one's in the air for some time, and it's going to be a declare. So as I said, as I promised, some amazing action coming out to you here live. Jupiter 11 taking on Viking Warriors. Viking Warriors are fielding and the batting team, of course, is Jupiter 11. 4 overs have been completed, and after 4 overs, it is 30 for the loss of 2 wickets. So now Tanveer Lokhandwala is the new bowler. Carpet drive straight in the hands of Rizwan, and Kaur was safely in the crease. Oh, this is a great stop by Tanveer, and it's nothing new for him. He's been an amazing fielder. Slower one on that occasion by Tanveer. That is outside the off stump. Good collect there by Avesh, and there is this review gone to the third umpire, PC Patil. And there it is, the wicket falls down. Kaur will have to return back to the pavilion. A slow start by Jupiter 11, but it really doesn't matter how they've started, especially the first 4 overs. They've been very economical in scoring those runs. But I think especially if to talk about the yesterday's day, I think the 7th and the 8th over has been fruitful for many teams. So again, it is going to be a close watch on how these teams have done, how these teams will be doing today. Because yesterday we saw a lot of teams scoring the maximum runs in the 7th and the 8th over. So is this ritual of yesterday going to be followed today again? Is something that we'll have to wait and watch. Here comes Mohammad on strike now after the wicket of Kaur. He was doing fantastic, absolutely an asset. That was a hard hit, a misfield there by the fielder. 2 easy runs where they would have got only 1 run. They got 2 easy runs with that misfield. And this is always going to happen. It's always very challenging. The pressures are always going to be there on you. It's how you absorb the pressure and still perform better. You had to dive to take that one, but that dive did not help as it allowed Nikesh to take the second run as well. Fast runners again between the wickets, and that is going to be an added advantage. 34 now on the scoreboard. Slowly and steadily the score is soaring up high. That one's in the air and straight in the hands of the fielder. Tanveer strikes and the wicket falls down. Anuj Mishra, the fielder there, who's done some amazing batting yesterday. We saw under pressure where there were no scoring in the first 3 overs. There comes the storm, Anuj Mishra yesterday, and he had a ball of a time in that monster over. Wonderful batting. So Parth Mathuria comes to the bowling end, and Hardik comes as a non-striker after that wicket falling down. Anuj taking a superb catch to get Mohammad out. Nikesh Patani still looking strong in the centre. He's already hit 1-6, and I think Jupiter would be expecting many more from him. A good carpet drive, tried to hit the helicopter. One of his favourite shot. Parth Mathuria, the bowler. Hardik Makhwana comes to the striker's end. Again a left and right hand batsman combination, so that's going to be a task for the bowlers as well as the fielders. Avish Khan trying to take a direct hit. Wonderful shot. He plays that shot so flawless that you cannot beat it. Well, I think singles and doubles, they're nicely converting those singles into that doubles as well. Shot delivery, and that is a straight hit to a beautiful looking sixer by Nikesh. Got it in the range of the swing of his bat, and he does it fine when it comes to these kind of balls bowling at him. One more. Gorgeous looking hit into that fence. 6 number 2. And in the course of getting that number 3, he gets himself back to the pavilion. Easy catch for Hasnain, and a wicket number 5 falling down. So always coming to the strike. In the air and straight in the hands of Parth Mathuria. He goes without troubling the scorers. Hardik Makhwana rotates the strike, and he comes on the striker's end now. But I think this has been a problem with now the players of Jupiter. They're losing early wickets. Everybody is trying to go for that big one, and I think that is still not going to be fruitful if they are looking for a big score on the total, because there are more potential 11 legitimate deliveries to come to them, and if they cannot be, they are not able to capitalize this moment, because till the time Nikesh Patani was there, I think he was hitting some superb hit, but now There's a twist in the tail. Look at that. One more catch. It's looking like a catching practice given to the Viking Warriors players, and they are doing it just fine. Everybody is just trying to hit that big one. They're not looking for singles, doubles, or they're not looking for carpet drives, but they're only looking the aerial route, and this is where the biggest mistake is happening. 3 early wickets lost for Jupiter 11, and they're 7 down now. 52 already on the board, but I think the way they were playing, they could have easily touched a mark of 75-80 runs. But due credit to Darshan, he's doing some fantastic job in the center. Pratik comes to the striker's end. Full toss ball this time in the declare zone. And they won't mind getting those easy singles. Or even for that matter, the bowlers of Viking Warriors would not mind that. As far as they're taking singles, it's not making much of a difference to the scoreboard. One more mistake, and this time it's an MCS out. Outside the fence, Pratik goes early again back to the dugout. Wicket number 8 falling down for 53 runs. That one's in the air, but surpassing the fielder there in the mid-on region. One more wicket for Darshan Modi. He's not done anything exceptional, but he's stick to his orthodox line and length, and he's done some fantastic and phenomenal job for his team, getting those quick 4 wickets in his over. That has made a huge difference in the scorecard as well. Malik comes in. So Malik and Amir. This has been a super exceptional over. And that will bring in the last man for the bowling end. Hasnain comes to the attack. That one's in the air, but will find a gap, and also will find that declare zone for a single. Well, as far as singles are coming, I don't think Jupiter 11 is going to mind it, because at this moment it's a last wicket that is to go down, and I think anything that comes right now from the bat or even from extras, every run is important for them, because they've lost 9 wickets, and just the last wicket that is about to fall, or maybe not to fall, but it depends on how the players are going to play. But if this is how Amir is going to play, then I think it is going to be an impressive statement here in the center. Amir Bhatti taking full charge of that crease and hitting a beautiful sixer. Slower one onto the leg side, and that's going to be called wide by umpire Mr. Amre. This time again in the air, but Rizwan on the ball. Malik, yes, no. And I think this is a disaster. All out for Jupiter 11. The score score ends at 62 and it's going to be 63 for Viking Warriors to win this game.
So it's toss time for match number 2. Day 3 MCS 8. It's Sapphire Constructions versus Ricky Tigers. I would like to invite Kazim Merchant for the toss. So very quickly, Ricky Tigers call. IBJA is the call. MCS 8 it is.
We like to feel.
Any specific reasons of fielding?
It's our first match, so I want Ricky to put some target for us, and we like to chase that.
All right, all the very best, Asif, Akil, all the very best. So you guys have lost the toss. What you guys would have done?
We wanted to field first. I'm just waiting for Baba Devan to screw my happiness. He's coming now.
All right, all the very best.
Good luck, boys.
So Sapphire Constructions have won the toss, elected to field up against Ricky Tigers. Back to match number 1. 54 is the target for Viking Warriors up against Jupiter 11. Live feed coming your way. Thank you. I beg your pardon. 64 is the target.
So now Viking Warriors comes to the center as always. The opening pair, Wasim on one side, the owner, who is at the non-striker's end, and Azim as always taking the strike. Interesting chase. This is going to be 64 runs. So KO will open the innings for Jupiter 11 at the bowling end as Saurabh there behind the stumps. Azim leaving that one as it was a white ball. So off the mark is Viking Warriors. Nicely tapped on the offside. Malik comes to the cover and that is only going to be a single. That will bring in Wasim to strike. Again nicely tapped, but straight in the hands of Muhammad here. No run on that occasion. It's just the first over. Trying to get that gap once again on the onside. No run on that occasion again. So 2 dot balls back to back for Kure. This time completely deceiving line and length for everyone, even for the keeper, even for the batsman. The ball surpasses even Saurabh, who's standing behind the stumps. Nice fielding there by Ankit, who is standing very close by. But this time Wasim managing to get that gap. End of the first brilliant over by Kure, and it is going to be 3 runs on the scoreboard without the loss of any wicket. Brings back Wasim on strike, who's playing very nicely. He's been very careful in the first over. Finally managing to take that gap and get a run and get a strike back as well. So they are going to take a bowling power play as well. Umpire Mr. Amre signing it to us that it's going to be a power play. Nicely hit again towards the long on region, only for a single. Azim back on strike. Slower one, and that did the trick. Saurabh makes no mistake. Easy collect and bails on the ground. Wonderful work behind the stumps. Wicket number 1 falling down. Azim back in the dugout. So now Nadeem comes to the strike. Wasim still there on the non-strike. They lost an early wicket. Azim. Wicket number 2, I think. Yes, it is. 2 early wickets. First Azim and then Nadeem. The slower one, or the extra slower one, I would say, doing the trick here for Ankit. Tossing the ball nicely, but not giving that much flight, but is bowling more flatter. But what he's doing is that when he's releasing the ball, he's keeping it outside the off stump. The ball is not even turning, but going straight. But the pace is doing, the extra slower one is doing all the magic here. Good chance for Saurabh, and he doesn't miss many behind the stumps. Good work by him as well. Wicket number 2 falling down for Viking Warriors. So now this is going to be a challenge for Ankit, because he's managed to take both the right-handers run for their money, but now it's the left-hand batsman. He does it well for them. Him also. So though there is a different line and length that he has to bowl, he is still achieving that perfection. This time full toss ball. There could have been a chance of one more wicket. Hardik Makwana. Interesting scenes here as at the Aper Astro Park Jew, GVPD ground. It's a no ball. This is a full toss ball in the air of Ankit, and he comes to the rescue. Only a single on that occasion. So end of a fantastic over where he got 2 early wickets, Azim and Nadeem, and was a good over. So first over ends in giving second over ends in giving just 4 runs and took 2 wickets. So the score after 2 overs, it is 7, and more 57 runs to win of just 36 deliveries. That is quite a challenge now for the batsmen of Viking Warriors. Still we have Parth Mathuria waiting for his chance. Rizwan in the dugout waiting for his chance to come out to bat. But Avesh Khan, of course, one of the finest batsmen. But I think Wasim is timing the ball very nicely. And he can set up a good tone because he's also known to hit big sixes. So there's a lot expected by Wasim, by his team actually. And he's one of the hard hitters of the ball. So let's see whether Wasim is able to get some sixes here. Hasnain on the other side. It's a good left hand right hand batsman combination where they can keep the bowlers busy changing their line and lengths, changing their fielding, and take the advantage of the loose balls that might come to them. Ankit Sharma comes to the attack, right arm round the wicket. And that's an edge. Strikes in the very first ball and a straight catch to Saurabh. He's got 2 stumpings and 1 caught behind. Doing some brilliant work behind the stumps. Tanveer Lokhandwala comes to the centre. Well, I would only have one question later. I think someday I'll ask Tanveer, is he good in maths? Because he's one of the finest calculative players, especially when it comes to chasing. He always has that per over run rate to be achieved, or the asking run rate always in his mind, and plays the game accordingly. He shapes up his game in such a beautiful manner that chasing that big total or the lowest total, anything that is there in his hands, becomes very easy. This time it was a chance for Ankit Sharma. Yes, no was the call between Tanveer and Hasnain. There was a bit of a confusion there, but finally Tanveer refusing that second run. Full toss ball straight in the hands of Kaur. The call is directly for second run. Tanveer is fast as a flash. Pretty nice spell by Ankit Sharma till now. Only 10 runs on the scoreboard. Hasnain back on the strike. Changes in the field here. Amir Bhatti being sent back to the mid-wicket region for a left-hander. Oh, he's come as a short mid-wicket now. This is exactly why he was put there. The ball went to him eventually, as if the ball was searching for him. In the air for some time. Nice shot there. Only a single to end that classic third over by it's not the end. There is one more ball remaining. So 11 on the board for 3 wickets, and I think monster over is where Viking Warriors can still capitalize that moment, because every run gets a double one. But this time a wrong shot by Hasnain, and he loses his wicket. So who is it going to be? Is it going to be Avesh Khan or Parth Mathuria? I think it will be Avesh, because right now what they need is a partnership. Right now what they need is someone who can play some clever cricket, not rushed on to things, but one who can wait there, play singles, doubles, make a good partnership, and maybe take advantage in the latter coming overs. Especially when you have Tanveer Lokhandwala on one side and Avesh Khan, who just entered the crease. I think there are a lot many singles, doubles that we're going to see. They're good runners between the wickets, and that's exactly what is the need of the hour. 3 overs have been completed, 11 runs are on the scoreboard, 64 is the target, but that's not a high target. We've seen 90 plus runs getting chased here in the day 1 and day 2. We've seen 80 plus runs getting chased here. So it's how you approach a particular game, whether it is a low scoring game, whether it is a low high chasing match. It always depends how are you going to go towards that final mark. Lots said here, but it will now depend on these two batsmen. How are they going to shape up this innings, how they're going to take it to a next level. And if this is a big over, this is a big responsibility given to Hardik Makwana, because it's a monster over brought to you by B Kandhari Properties and Niton. IBJA Gold presents Mumbai Cricket Stars Season 8. Powered by Living Liquids, supported by B Kandhari Properties and Niton. Extra run given with that overthrow. They'll have to be very careful with that overthrows or misfields. Nicely played in the gap. Malik chasing the ball, only a single there. Oh, this is nicely played. This is beautifully played, but straight in the hands of Hardik Makwana. The ball was travelling away from the batsman, but nicely done at the end. This time on the onside, Amir Bhatti comes on the ball. Only a single there. 17 on the scoreboard. That's a wide ball, and that's also going to be an extra run. Fast ball called by the umpire. So is he going to take the wide? Yes, he's going to take the wide, because they are going to take the advantage of those runs coming up in a monster over. Nicely tapped, but this time straight in the hands of Malik. He's got a good height there, so a good jump to save that single. This time he surpasses Amir as well. The call is for the second one as well. Hey, that is going to be something interesting. It is a direct hit, and they've gone for a review. The third umpire comes into the action. Nikesh Patani comes to the action, straight in the hands of Hardik Makwana. Throws towards the stumps, but no damage there. Fifth over starts. And the pressure increases. Well, again, two dot balls back to back brings back the pressure on Tanveer Lokhandwala. They realize that they need some big hits at this moment. Nice shot. And that's also hit. The Niton board, number 8. What a perfection. This time it hits the Niton board. That's an added advantage. Not even a 6, but you get a 8. Malik, the fielder. Only a single to rotate the strike. Avish comes back. Nicely played again. Amir Bhatti, misfield on that occasion. That will allow them to convert that single run into a double. In Hindi it is said Nazar Hati or Durgatna Ghati. That was the ball here. A bit of a misfielding by Amir, and they took the advantage right away. White ball. Good one for Avish to return back to the crease. He knew that it was wider to the off stump. And no ball. Straight in the hands of Amir. Only a single. So I think this over has been very fruitful as they've got extras as well, and they've got that 8 runs to the Niton board as well. 35 now on the scoreboard. That's a free hit for Tanveer. He goes right over the wicket now. Wonderful strike for a sixer. He's doing it time and again for his team. A wonderful striker of the ball. And he's got the run rate under control now. 51-61. 18 balls and 23 runs needed. That has brought the run rate to a very much safer zone now. But from here on, it's going to be a battle of Jupiter 11 as well, because they are not going to give it up very easily. They have a good bowling attack. As you can see now, Malik comes to the attack. But Avish and Tanveer in a good partnership.
सौरभ, उमर को इधर लेना, अंकित को पीछे रख.
So Malik going left arm round the wicket. Nicely bowled. No run on that occasion. A dot ball to start off with. straight down the ground, surpasses Mohammed there. Nikesh Patani does the cover up at the long on region. Only a single. And I think Tanvir is in a hurry to finish this one. He doesn't believe in single doubles anymore. I think he's made up his mind to go for those big ones. This time going for a reverse sweep, not quite successful. But he's got enough runs on the board now. 48, just too short of 50. And this one's again in the air, but it's going to be dropped. Now the only question is, has he dropped the catch or the match? 50 up for Viking Warriors there. One more on to the onside, straight in the hands of Umar. Gets a single and keeps the strike to himself. 13 needed of 12. Was in the air for some time. I think Tanvir gets a second life. It could have been a catch if Mohammed would have reacted to it. Avesh Khan doing the right thing, giving the strike back to Tanvir Lokhandwala, who's been doing absolutely fantastic in the centre. Especially the fifth over where he started striking the ball pretty hard. Full toss ball, and I think he's cleared this one as well. .59 now, and it's just the last 5 runs that they're gonna wait. Easy gonna be finishing this one also in style. Yes, I think the elevation says it all, and that sixer ends the game in just the 7th over. Congratulations to Team Viking Warriors. The next one to play is Sapphire Constructions taking on Ricky Tigers. So Sapphire has won the toss, and they've chosen to bowl first. I've invited Ricky Tigers to bat first. Will be shortly back with all the live action.
All right, it's time for post-match presentation. The first game has been completed of day 3 and what a victory by Viking Warriors. And deservedly, the man of the match, the Superman, Tanveer Lokhandwala. So we have with us the Viking family to do the honors, please. He gets a cash prize of 3,000 from Living Liquids as well as a trophy from Living Liquids. Well done, Tanveer. This is what was required. I've always been talking about your batting. You're only concentrating on your fielding. It's high time you started performing.